Hello guys, this is Pradeep. Welcome back. So as per my last video, we were learning about how do we create our own RE framework. So without further ado, let's continue. So as you can see in my last video, we have created three blocks in it: get transaction and find state, and we have defined the three conditions. Based on that, it can go for the next blocks. So now we'll define other condition for my process state. So let's say we'll keep it here. So what do we do is I'll just open this and you can see from here, so just minimize this one. If transaction item is nothing, it will go to directly find state, right? So what I'll do is I'll add another state saying it has to go to the, okay, I haven't defined it. Let's go define my state as process and that process state. So now you can go here, click on that transition line. You can drop down and select this process state. So then you can define the condition here saying process. So let's say if transaction item is not nothing, then go to the process state. So you can see it will directly connected here. Okay. You can see from here. So now what we do is we'll just declare a condition. What to do? I'll just print a message. Another try catch. And what do we do? Write this. We'll just write a condition, simple write line. Transaction item. Declare a condition here, system exception and business exception. So we are going to, so as in my previous video, we have declared a variable for both of the exceptions. So let's add it here. System exception is equal to exception control C. Business exception is equal to exception. So if you get any exception, it will directly assign it here. So in final state, you can declare, can increment your, what do you say? If let's say we'll declare a condition saying if system exception if business exception is not nothing or system exception is not nothing, then so it has to increment, right? So we'll just I think I have not declared it yet, so let's create an transaction number. So this will be our integer. So I'm just going to pass it here. In this condition, if business exception or system exception is nothing, it has to increment transaction number equal to transaction number plus 1. How about that? Okay. Now we'll close this. Everything looks good. So you can see we have no transaction. There are no transitions. We need to have that. Let's say, let's define if there is system exception, it has to directly go to the initialization state. It has to come around here. No, it's not coming. So even here we can see I'll define system exception. If system exception is not nothing, then go to the initialization. We'll add another trigger saying if it has to go to the get transaction data. So if system exception is not nothing, and sorry if you guys hearing any background noise. System exception is not nothing and business exception is not nothing, then it has to go to the get transaction data. So let's say this is how to declare the condition. If there is any business data, it has to pick another one, right? So system exception is not nothing. You can declare this business exception is nothing, is not nothing, then go to the get transaction data. And also we can define a success condition to get transaction data. Success if system exception is nothing and business exception is nothing, then go to get transaction data. So we can see we have defined three conditions. And the first priority is we need to check, we need to get a new data. You can directly move to this for the first, and you can modify accordingly. These are our three conditions which we have defined it. So it's a little messy. Yeah, guys. So this is it. So we will test it out in my next video. Thank you, guys.